Hey all, Nick's here. Um, I just wanted to go ahead and give a brief example of how I do my leveling system and how I try and make early game as efficient as possible. Um, in this particular video, I did have a problem with a ton of desync. Absolute huge amount of desync. Like more than I've ever had. The total time for this video is 59 minutes. It is me playing through the entirety of Act 1 solo and self-found, which means I'm not allowed to get anything from my stash. I can put things in, but I can't take it out unless this character was the one that put it in. And solo, meaning I can't party, I can't trade, I can't do anything, any of that. Which also goes in with the self-found, I can't trade or any of that. So this video is me doing my Cleave Ranger build, which is a build I really enjoy. I skipped getting level 2 in Act 1, so now I'm going back to grab the Corroded Blade, so I have a two-handed weapon that I can use. And I'm going to go ahead and get a third ID scroll. Now I'm going to run back and do Medicine Chest. I got the Mudflats waypoint, so when I'm done here I can just log out and just be right back in town and just go right back and grab the Mudflats waypoint. And that will really speed up the run too. Medicine Chest gives me Viper Strike, I think? So it's pretty important that I do that. No, Medicine Chest doesn't give me Viper Strike, it gives me Fire Trap. So it's pretty important that I get this. And I'm running around. The problem with Hail Rake is he's currently with a big rare mob and they both hit pretty hard. So I'm trying not to die here. I'm going to log out, log back in. I'm going to grab my Quicksilver Flask, which is pretty important. Quicksilver Flask gives you a lot of movement speed, makes it a lot faster to clear Act 1. And a lot easier. So is pretty good. Now I need to go do the Roa quest and grab all the glyphs. There's really not a good way other than just understanding where things are to successfully predict where the glyphs are. If you see here, I get a little confused. I don't really know where the last glyph is, so I'm trying to jump back and forth. I eventually find it, so that's that. So now that I have these, I'm looking for the exit, and I know it's always in the cliff face, so I see the water and I turn around. And now we're going to go through here. I am going to kill the crab to get the extra talent point, simply because I feel it's worth it. It'll slow down the run a bit, but, you know, why not? Might as well kill the crab. I usually kill the crab, so yeah, this is hardcore, where skill points are pretty important. So yeah, and I just can't not get frozen at these guys. They freeze me like 4 times here. But you will notice that I got the Submerged Passageway point again, so when I finish here, instead of just having the gigantic dead time, I will actually be able to just log out, log back in, and avoid having to run all the way back through this area that I'm currently running through. Which is really, really nice. I still don't have another mana potion, and I'm kind of annoyed by that, but I'm not really willing to go out and buy one quite yet, because I think I might get one later. So, killing the crab. He's dying. He is pretty strong. You do see I put on my chest piece for this particular zone. I probably won't take it out for a while. Because, oh, there we go. And the reason you'd want to take off your chest piece while you're speedrunning something is that your chest actually slows you down. If you're using it, it gives you a slight movement decrease. So if you think you can handle it, it's a good idea to take it off. You can't really see the parts where I'm desyncing, but a little bit ago, in the last level, right before the end, I actually jumped like a full screen across the map backwards. So it was really, really bad this game. So I'm going to hit the ledge at around level 5. You see I'm level 5 right there. I didn't keep it up long enough, but and I'm just going to go through the ledge and kill some things. This is the part where I'm looking for a longsword, if I can find one, on the ground. Because the longswords can drop off of blue packs on the ledge, which is what I want. The longsword is a level 8 sword. I'm hoping to get one of those here. Otherwise, the ledge is fairly simple. Just run through it, kill it. I'm not going to do multiple runs with the ledge because I was level 5 when I got here. If I was just hitting level 4, I might consider doing a ledge run again. I'm going to grab an Amber Amulet here too, so that I have the ability to equip a longsword when I get one. It does have a strength requirement that is higher than the Ranger's base. If they did not have an Amber Amulet, I would have gotten a heavy belt, because that also gives strength. And I'm just going through, killing things. They do take a little while longer than I would like to kill these guys here, but you can't really help it. I have sped the video up as fast as Vegas will allow me to. I probably would have preferred a little bit faster because I'd like to keep the video under 10 minutes if possible, but that isn't really going to happen. I also throw another chest piece on here because this zone hurts a lot. I come really close to dying a couple of times here, and puncture is annoying. But so much molten shell. But I try and get through here as best as I can. This zone is actually really, really dangerous, but because I opted out of a second ledge run for the sake of the fact that I didn't want to do a ledge run because they're boring, and I didn't think it was a good example to show in the video of me just running ledge 4 times to get to level 11 and then just stomping through the entire game, I decided to just skip it, and that means I have to level somewhere else, and this is the next best place. Because I do prefer to skip a lot of prison, because prison is really, really scary. It's not a happy zone to be in. I'm looking at longswords. I don't have a blacksmith whetstone to buy one, so I'm going to have to pass there. I will be keeping an eye out for superiors at this point, as well as other blacksmith whetstones, so that I can buy one as soon as I get one. Dead end. I decided it might be easy to kill this guy for free experience, so I just go ahead and do that. Delicious. And the prison run is, level 1 isn't bad, but level 2 prison has a lot of really, really scary elemental casters that you need to watch out for, and I do usually end up skipping as much of it as possible, which means in prison level 1 I have to kill as many of the rare and magic monsters as I can, because if I do it that way, then I get the experience that I'm missing out on by skipping most of prison 2. So it's all about maximizing what you have, maximizing what you can and can't do. I am clearing these a little slowly as well, a lot of these things. This run is pretty slow simply because of the massive desync issue I was having. I had to make sure that in the worst case scenario, if I massively desynced, that it wouldn't kill me just outright. So I did my best to try and account for that, which did slow me down by a few minutes, for sure. And I'm looking for the saber that I just got, and I want the saber because it is a level 10 item that is really, really fast. So on Brutus, it gives me the ability to stack up 3 Viper Strike ticks and then just run around him, which makes Brutus a lot easier, for me at least, at this point. There's my blacksmith whetstone. You can be sure I'll go back and get a longsword as soon as the first opportunity provides itself. Right now I'm just trying to get to Brutus. I don't want to pop open a portal until I hit Brutus. So, we're just running through, we're looking for it, and there it is. Cool. I'm going to pop open a portal and go back and get that longsword. Grab some potions. Or maybe I don't grab a potion yet. The scimitar. Saber. It's a saber, but it's a scimitar. Let's be honest. Readjusting everything I have. I'm also making sure I get some good evasion gear before Brutus, because the reason I get all those evasion nodes is to deal with the really hard-hitting bosses. You do get the waypoint for Brutus, the prisoner's gate waypoint, right after killing him. So you don't actually have to go get it, so you can just leave whenever you want. There's the longsword. I did pick up the wrong aura. Normally I'd pick up Hatred there, but I was just rushing and missed it, so that does also slow down my clear time quite a bit. I would recommend getting Hatred, because you can just toss on Hatred and improves your DPS a lot. It makes this zone specifically much easier because it slows the Goatmen, which is huge, but I didn't pick it up because I'm dumb. It's just worth noting that you should pick up Hatred because it does make this zone a lot easier. Again, I'm leveling behind. I'm below the zone. I'm level 10 at the moment, which means if I want to skip the Pirate's Bay, the Pirate Bay, if I want to skip the Ghost Pirate Bay, it's better that I level here, because that other zone is much scarier than this zone, and this zone is pretty scary, so that's saying something. So I'm going to be trying to avoid that place as much as physically possible, but that means questing here, which isn't the most ideal thing, but it's much, much better than the alternative. Another longsword. At this point, I'm looking for a bastard sword as well. It can drop in any level 11 zone, which includes this zone, assuming that you kill a rare, because it's a level 12 sword, so you can get it from a rare. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go back to town. I'm gonna finally buy a mana flask, I think, because I still haven't gotten one. And it's really slowing me down. I was really surprised that I didn't get one up until now. That was kind of a waste of 3 ID scrolls, but I thought it was pretty important. I'm just looking for better swords at this point, because the weapon does certainly make the build here. And since I already forgot Hatred, I'm playing a bit behind. But, you know, what are you gonna do? This zone is also really, really scary for rares, because if you do get the vulnerability curse, they can hurt you. Normally it's not too bad, but with the desync issues I was having, it was pretty big. But this is the zone that I'm going to want to level in, because it's fairly simple to level in. It's not too dangerous. Even if you get really low on life, it's really easy to kite around. It's not like the previous zone where if you are low on life, a row will charge you, or the zone before that where if you're low on life, a goatman will jump on you. It's fairly safe being low on life, so there's a certain sense of calmness to this zone that you don't really see elsewhere. So I'm killing things. I go back here, and foolishly, I don't decide to get a cold resist ring. And we'll see how that works out later. I also don't decide to get a fire resist ring. I instead waste all of my portal scrolls on buying this one bastard sword, because it costed me 2 transmute orbs and I only had 1. I did have 7 portal scrolls. So I'm going through this entire zone killing as much as I can, hoping to get a portal scroll, and also hoping to not need to go back to town for some reason. Which I think is actually kind of funny. And it's stuff like that that makes the self-found playthrough a lot more fun than normal just dig through your stashes. The decision making on your part where you have to go, well, risk rewards of this and that. And that's something I find really fun about Path of Exile. But again, we're trying to be as safe as possible, and this zone is fairly tame. The only thing you have to watch out for is being slowed by the Merveil's sirens, and we get through it just fine. Now here's where it gets interesting. I don't have fire resist rings. I don't have portal scrolls. I cannot get fire resist rings. These exploders take out about 1/4 of my health. Not my brightest plan. So I'm trying pretty hard to not die here, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. So, I mean, I'm running through, I'm trying my best, but sometimes your best just ain't gonna cut it. So, kill the rare boss. I'm running through here. I don't really care about levels. I want that chest. I'm gonna waste time here. I probably could have saved a minute not getting this chest, but it didn't contain anything. But who cares? I really wanted the chest. It was shiny. Promise me genie wishes. Alright, here's where things get interesting. I want a cold resist ring. There aren't any. I want an iron ring. There aren't any. I sit here for a moment going, I'm not sure what to do here. I'm gonna have to do this without a cold resist ring. So now I'm looking through, I'm trying to maximize my life, I'm trying to maximize my TP scrolls, and I'll just let you watch this as it pans out, because this is kind of funny, fighting Merveil without any kind of level 3 life nodes or any of that nonsense. So, I will leave you with that. I hope you enjoy. It was certainly a fun run to do. Thanks.
Your love for a man. That's what did this to you, Mervale.